So I'm glad you have asked. So as I've said, many languages utilize cuneiform, and there is a clear and present evolution. There's no magic. There's not much mystery to it anymore. You don't have to be a specific ethnic group to be able to read it. White people don't just have a mental block on their capability to learn it. So cuneiform started off with very simple tokens that represented various commodities that eventually, at around 3500 BC, gave way to Sumerian cuneiform, which started off as very simple pictographs and gradually over time evolved into a more abstract, fully established language. For instance, this sign means donkey, and we can see its clear evolution from token to proto-cuneiform to an established language. And there's many examples of this. Take a look at this. So before I tell you, what do you think this looks like and what do you think it means? So this is a head, I think that's quite obvious, which eventually became this. And this looks like a bowl, but it's actually bread, which eventually became this sign. So it's a head combined with bread. So I think that's pretty obvious that it means to eat, which eventually evolved into this sign, which is the sign for bread, inside the sign for mouth. Here's a demonstration for the evolution for the signs for heaven, head, and water. And here are some charts showing more evolution of the signs over the years, over the thousands of years actually. But to be honest, the best proof I can give you is this, and I'm going to switch up format now. So, the best evidence, the best proof I can give to you is literally my ability to read it. So you can read this sentence here, because you can, right? You can read English. You just know that you can read it, it makes sense to you, every single word makes sense, right? That's exactly the same with me reading this. There's no different, right? If I couldn't read this, it would make about as much sense as this sentence does now to you, right? This is just jumbled up letters. If it wasn't accurate, I wouldn't be able to read it at all, but I can. So let me just demonstrate one line for you. I don't want to make this a very long video, so I'll just do one column. So it says, Eanatum ensi lagash ashumma enlioke gazigua ninchasenke mupada ningesu shapada nanshe. Now, in English, that means for Eanatum. Eanatum was a king who lived around 2400 BC. The prince, or the ruler, or the governor of Lagash, Lagash was an ancient Sumerian city, was given strength by Enlil. Enlil was one of the divine triad, was nourished by Ninchaseng, was chosen by name by Ningirsu, and was chosen by the heart of Nanshe. So if my knowledge was incorrect, I wouldn't be able to do that. That just wouldn't happen. I can go on to the end. And I have many videos doing this. So, yeah, I could give you one lesson. After one lesson, I guarantee you, I could teach you the nominal chain. The basics of it, at least, in one lesson. And by the end of that lesson, only an hour or so, you would understand some Sumerian, and it would make sense to you, and you would probably want to learn more. It's not all that difficult. The nominal chain isn't anyway. The verbal chain is quite difficult, but the nominal chain is quite easy to learn, and I guarantee you would understand some Sumerian after just one lesson, and then you wouldn't be giving me this shit anymore.